When creating a game, you need to have somewhat a clear idea what type of game you're trying to create. These ideas form and shape the canvas that is your game, a building block of ideas gradually forming to a world for the player to enjoy. However, not all ideas are able to go to the final product. It can be from engine limitations or be scrapped due to unknown reasons. Slime Rancher has a list of unused content that many of you might find interesting. A lot of these unused features can be found in the official Slimepedia. I will provide a link down below if you want to read them yourselves. I do recommend it because it's very fascinating. Now, without wasting any time, let's start with the first unused content. Asteroid Prop. An unused asteroid prop was once used in the prototype beach, and the object data and mesh are fully intact within the game's files. Well, this asteroid prop actually fits well with another unused content. I'm pretty sure most of you know what it is. The meteor slime was once planned to be added in update 6.0 but were scrapped because the slime wasn't working. Monobi Park thought it wouldn't make sense on the ranch, and Mosaic slimes were already raining fire, so parts of its behavior were repurposed for other slimes. The only remaining part of it in the slime is the magnetism code, which has been present since the slime's prototype stages. It's very unfortunate that they have to scrap the meteor slime. Honestly, it would be very interesting to have some sort of, I would say, a slime out of this world, literally crashing down. Additionally, it'd be very interesting how its ability to magnetize things around its area would make things quite interesting. Would this ability attract slimes or just objects like chickens, plorts, etc.? I read another article, another reason why they scrapped it is because it didn't really fit the theme of the game very well. I will provide some articles of the meteor slime so you guys could learn all about it. It is unfortunate they had to scrap the patch for the Glass Desert updates. But hey, that's what the mod community is for. So for those modders out there, this is a great idea to bring that meteor slime back into the game. Up next is Cube Model. A unused textureless cube model is present in the game's files and has been since update 2.0. The loading screen text indicates the victor was attempting to make cube slimes, which may have been the cube's model's intended use. Yeah, I wasn't around when Slime Rancher was in early access, back in I think between 2016 and 2017, but I read something that the developers were starting out to make cubes but eventually circularized the slimes. But there is a mod, I think I'll provide a link down below, where you could bring that cube shape into the game. So instead of slimes having this circular form, they will be a cube shape. Never tried it myself, but hey, I thought I'd point that out for you guys to try yourselves. The Hydro Shower. The Hydro Shower is a gadget that was originally planned to be included in update 4.0, where it would have been unlocked a week after the Hydro Turret. It is unknown why it was never finished, but it's fully functional. The prototype model is a blue sphere on top of a cuboid, somewhat resembling a matchstick. Like other utilities, it requires 2 minutes to install. Unlike the Hydro Turret and Super Hydro Turret, it has to be activated manually. Once active, a rain effect will cover the immediate area, while the gadget pulses every 0.5 seconds. Every tar within the radius of roughly 3 red auras will take 20% of the damage of a regular water shot, requiring at most 5 pulses or 10 pulses at night to dispatch them. After 10 pulses, the rain effect will stop and have a manual cooldown before it can be used again. The crafting recipe of the gadgets is linked in their page. Now, this is quite unfortunate they have to scrap it. The idea of introducing rain is a very fascinating idea and something that I will point out later on in the video, but for now I want to focus on this gadget. There's a video online that I found that showcase how the gadget would look like and performs in your ranch. I think the main reason why they scrapped the idea of introducing this particular gadget is because, well, what's the chances of the actual tar breaking out into your ranch? Well, that depends on the individual, of course, but I don't think it would make any sense. There is already 3 types or more, I don't remember, of gadgets that get rid of tar. So adding a gadget that pretty much makes rain will more than likely be a little too easy. I don't know, that's my thoughts on that. The Iron Rancher mode was a game mode intended to be introduced in update 1.4.0 and was intended to add challenge to standard gameplay. It was shelved in favor of content Nick felt was more exciting and more in line with Slimepedia. Quoting, "This mode adds a replayable survival-like experience to the game. It has you racing against time to collect quotas of various plorts across multiple day rounds. Each round will also include mixed rules and various challenges, including vampiric chickens, random plorts, random tar spawns, increased hunger, and more. All of the features can still be found within the game's code. Their exact functions are detailed here. Honestly, I hope they bring this Iron Rancher mode into the game in the next update. Why? Because simply that it provides more longer hours of play and variations. I wouldn't mind being chased by hordes of vampiric chickens or having a tar spawn directly into your ranch. Just thinking about it sounds absolutely frightening, but made things a lot more unique. Modifiers are special options which change the rules of the game. They have been in the game since the prototype stages and were planned to be used in Iron Rancher mode. There are 6 modifiers available. Clachola, chickens become feral at night. Bad Moon Rising, 5% chance for a tar to spawn at night. The Gambler, 10% chance for a slime to produce a random plort instead of its own. Gobs of Globes, slime spawns are increased by 30%. The Hunger, slimes get hungry twice as fast. Unstable plorts, plorts explode after 30 seconds. Again, this goes very well with the Iron Rancher mode, to where you could customize how would you want to torture yourself with the different modifiers that's included. Honestly, the idea of an unstable plort exploding after 30 seconds is, oh my god, it sounds like it's a fun disaster ready to happen in a good way. Just reading all of this makes me really hopeful that in the future they'll bring the modifiers as well as the Iron Ranch mode. We just have to see. The Untamable Party Fashion Pod item, not to be confused with the Obtainable Party Fashion Pod, is equipped to the Party Gordo, although it does not use a standard fashion pod slot, so other pods can be equipped to it. When burst, the pod is automatically equipped to the 4 pink slimes spawned from it, regardless of the pods given to it by the player. The fashion pod item is unattainable through legitimate means, and spawning in the item through modding reveals that it has no icon. Its backpack color is set to black, and its overworld icon is an image needed placeholder. However, the pod is fully functional and equips the fashion pod to slimes like normal pods. So basically, there's just a regular unknown fashion pod that you could actually find in the files. At first, I thought it was just the, regular party fashion pods that you could actually get in the game. But no, these are just completely different type of fashion pods that was unfortunately scrapped before the actual obtainable pods were included. What the old-fashioned pods might have looked like, it's currently unknown. But hey, it's in the files. The puddle Gorthel has an identifiable entry within the game's files, but has no model or game object associated with it. Okay, I find this concept very interesting because they had the idea of adding a puddle slime variant of a Gorthel within the game. Unfortunately, they have to scrap it for unknown reasons. I hope they bring something like a puddle Gorthel into the game later on. That's including the fire slime. I don't know why they scrapped it. Maybe they have their fair reasons, like they don't know where to exactly put it. But hopefully in future updates, they could include a puddle and a fire Gorthel in the game. Fingers crossed! The Saber slime has a pure Saber slime model, which was added in update 1.4.0. Prior to this, it had no model. The pure Saber slime does not spawn naturally and cannot be vacuumed, but otherwise fully functions like a normal slime, including having the ability to transform into a large gold slime and having its own secret style pack. It's quite unfortunate they didn't include a pure Saber slime within the game. The only way to obtain one is through modding. I guess the closest thing we got is the secret style pack having a pure Saber slime variation. But other than that, I just hope in the future they do bring a pure Saber slime to the ranch. Better yet, why not bring the idea of the mod into the game to where that the Saber slime spawn has a 1% chance of actually spawning, similar to the lucky and gold slime, but a much more rarer chance. The pollen cloud cutoff is a static variable found within the code of the game. It is found with the other variables that would affect the Tangle slime's ability to produce pollen, and is set to a value of 0.95 or 95%. The variable, though, is unused, and as such has no effect on pollen production. It likely was scrapped for simplicity and likely would have been used to tell the Tangle slime when to stop producing pollen. It sounds like the pollen would have been some form of material that you would have collected. I guess out of simplicity they scrapped that entirely. It would have very been an interesting concept to naturally, scrape off the pollen out of a Tangle slime, or at least a form of collecting it. What would have been used for? I would guess for gardening. Other than that, it would put some variation of what ways to collect material. Unfortunately, the closest thing to pollen in the game is whenever a Tangle slime is agitated, it produces these pollens that it actually affects the surrounding slimes to sneeze and also get agitated. Just a small little fact. Quantum vibration levels are variables generated within a method of the code with the quantum slimes, which while the method seems complex, it isn't called for any event outside of determining the vibration level. It is located within the class known as quantum vibration, which is used to determine if the slime can teleport. As the code is unused, it may be left over from the original quantum slimes before being simplified. Okay, what it sounds like is some sort of levelator detects when a quantum slime is about to teleport. Honestly, I'm kind of glad they did scrap this because it get rid of the challenge of taking care of quantum slimes. Quantums are not that hard to take care of. As long as you feed them, they won't teleport. Again, it would be cool to have this form of, I guess, level gadget to know when a quantum is about to teleport. But like I said, it gets rid of the challenge. Okay, there are many unused Tier 2 utilities hidden within the files, such as the Rapid Med Station, the Super Hydro Shower, and the Elite Timmy Bell. They have been present in the game's files since update 0.4.0, and of all of them, only the Super Hydro Turret has been added. The Hydro Shower is the only unreleased gadget to be fully functional. All others do not have any functional data associated with them. Now, the Rapid Med Station, it's a fascinating concept to include. I'm glad they got rid of that because we only need the regular med station that could easily speed up your health. I don't think we need a much higher upgrades version of the med station. We already mentioned about the Super Hydro Shower that leads to the Elite Timmy Bell. Would this be a good idea? I think maybe. I don't know what it would do other than taming the feral slimes. It more likely will provide a much bigger radius. As in case you have a whole horde of angry feral slimes, you can just use the bell to calm those feral slimes down. I don't know. Either way, it's still a very fascinating concept to break down. The Tier 4 Treasure Cracker is an upgrade that has been in the game since update 4.0. It doesn't have an entry in the upgrade shop, which means it can only be obtained by modifying the game. It currently has no function as there are no treasure pods requiring its use. I can understand why they would get rid of the Tier 4 treasure pod. We already have 3 versions of it. I don't understand why having a 4th one would really provide. I would think that a Tier 4 would maybe include extremely rare pods, but having only a few of them at a time or some sort. There were originally planned to be 30 Groma packs available for the 7Z Rewards Club. However, only 27, including console exclusive Emerald and Sapphire, are used, leaving 3 of them unused. A copy of the Ruby Groma pack, Amethyst, and another one that has no data assigned to it. The copied Ruby and Amethyst Groma packs are set to unlock once ranked 9,999 of the 7C Rewards Club is reached, rendering them unattainable. These Groma packs can be applied to the ranch like the regular ones. The Ganbeki and Tomateo Groma pack use separate ID numbers. Additionally, the Onyx Groma pack was originally added to the game's files in version 1.3.1 with the Scuba playset, and then removed in version 1.3.1b. The Scuba playset was eventually implemented in official capacity in version 1.4.2. However, Onyx was not. Okay, this is very fascinating. There were 3 types of skins that were meant to be in the game but scrapped it entirely. The only way to gain it is through the impossible means of reaching rank 9,999. Oh boy, yeah, that's almost impossible, if not at all, without, hacking the game entirely. I kinda wish they brought those skins to see how they would have looked like. Maybe they will. They might change their minds and bring those versions back. As the Onyx Groma pack, this was very recent. They wanted to bring that skin within the Scova Gear update. Unfortunately, that didn't work out. But even still though, Still though, it's fascinating to see what sort of plans they had for the update. There are actually 2 defined fashion pod slots, one for the front and one for the top of the slime. Currently, all fashion pods use the front slot, leaving the top slot unused. Okay, this one is, I hope they bring this back. I wouldn't mind my slimes wearing a mustache and a freaking crown, a princess crown. I want that. No, better yet, a mustache with googly eyes. Oh, that sounds so cute and hilarious. Seriously, they should really bring this back. That way we have slimes holding more than one fashion pods. Last one that many of you might find interesting. Weather, or more specifically rain, was a feature once planned to be in the game. It was used in the prototype version of the game, but since public release, it has remained unused, but can be re-enabled in the game files. When enabled, rain has a chance to appear every 3 through 12 hours and is entirely cosmetic, so it does not damage tar. It can also rain just as frequently in the glass desert. Before pods were changed to provide unlimited water and no longer required, allowing it to autofill over time. Their Slimepedia entry once stated that rain would immediately refill them. However, this was never implemented. Quote, a pond will slowly be consumed if backed up or drunk up by puddle slimes, but will slowly refill over time. You can transfer unused water from your backpack to the pond and they will refill immediately when it rains. It's very unfortunate that they scrapped the weather system, specifically the rain, but at the same time, what's the point having rain? But at the same time, what's the point having rain that doesn't affect tar when tar are affected by water? Unless the rain is completely different than regular water to where it doesn't affect tar one bit. Still though, the idea of providing a weather system would vary up the gameplay a little bit. Would I want a weather system? Yeah, of course. But I see why they would scrap that entirely. Well guys, that's all the unused features within the game. I wish I could provide more content that's related to unused features within the game, but that's all I could really find. What do you guys think of this video? Let me know down below. Which feature do you wish that Monomi Park would bring back in future upgrades? Let me know down below. Like always, stay wiggly!